فقل سلام عليكم كتب ربكم على نفسه الرحمة أنه من عمل منكم سوءا بجهالة ثم تاب من بعده وأصلح فأنه غفور رحيم. وكذلك نفصل الآيات ولتستبين سبيل المجرمين. قل إني نهيت أن أعبد الذين تدعون من دون الله قل لا أتبع أهواءكم قد ضللت إذا وما أنا من المهتدين. قل إني على بينة من ربي وكذبتم به ما عندي ما تستعجلون به إن الحكم إلا لله إن الحكم إلا لله إن الحكم إلا لله يقص الحق وهو خير الفاصلين. قل لو أن عندي ما تستعجلون به لقضي الأمر بيني وبينكم والله أعلم بالظالمين. وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو وعنده مفاتح الغيب لا يعلمها إلا هو ويعلم ما في البر والبحر وما تسقط من ورقة إلا يعلمها ولا حبة في ظلمات الأرض وما تسقط من ورقة إلا يعلمها ولا حبة في ظلمات الأرض ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين. وما تسقط من ورقة إلا يعلمها ولا حبة في ظلمات الأرض ولا رطب ولا يابس إلا في كتاب مبين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. أزور سيدي ومولاي ومعتمدي ورجاي وشفيعي يوم مماتي سيدي أبا عبد الله الحسين، أصالة عن نفسي ونيابة عن والدي ووالد والدي وعن المؤمنين والمؤمنات وعن أمواتنا وأمواتكم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا خيرة الله وابن خيرته، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا ثأر الله وابن ثأره والوتر الموتور، السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. يا أبا عبد الله، لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت وعظمت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل الإسلام، وجلت وعظمت مصيبتك في السماوات على جميع أهل السماوات، فلعن الله أمة أسست أساس الظلم والجور عليكم أهل البيت، ولعن الله أمة دفعتكم عن مقامكم وأزالتكم عن مراتبكم التي رتبكم الله فيها، ولعن الله أمة قتلتكم، ولعن الله الممهدين لهم بالتمكين من قتالكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم ومن أشياعهم وأتباعهم وأوليائهم. يا أبا عبد الله، إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم إلى يوم القيامة. ولعن الله آل زياد وآل مروان، ولعن الله بني أمية قاطبة، ولعن الله ابن مرجان، ولعن الله عمر بن سعد، ولعن الله شمرا، ولعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتنقبت لقتالك بأبي أنت وأمي. لقد عظم مصابي بك، فأسأل الله الذي أكرم مقامك وأكرمني بك أن يرزقني طلب ثأرك مع إمام منصور من أهل بيت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم اجعلني عندك وجيها بالحسين عليه السلام في الدنيا والآخرة. يا أبا عبد الله، إني أتقرب إلى الله وإلى رسوله وإلى أمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإليك بموالاتك وبالبراءة ممن قاتلك ونصب لك الحرب، وبالبراءة ممن أسس أساس الظلم والجور عليكم، وأبرأ إلى الله وإلى رسوله ممن أسس أساس ذلك وبنى عليه بنيانه وجرى في ظلمه وجوره عليكم وعلى أشياعكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم، وأتقرب إلى الله ثم إليكم بموالاتكم وموالاة وليكم، وبالبراءة من أعدائكم والناصبين لكم الحار، وبالبراءة من أشياعهم وأتباعهم. إني سلم لمن سالمكم، وحرب لمن حاربكم، وولي لمن والاكم، وعدو لمن عاداكم. فأسأل الله الذي أكرمني بمعرفتكم ومعرفة أوليائكم ورزقني البراءة من أعدائكم أن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة، وأن يثبت لي عندكم قدم صدق في الدنيا والآخرة. وأسأله أن يبلغني المقام المحمود لكم عند الله، وأن يرزقني طلب ثأري مع إمام هدى ظاهر ناطق بالحق منكم. وأسأل الله بحقكم وبالشأن الذي لكم عنده أن يعطيني بمصابي بكم أفضل ما يعطي مصابا بمصيبته، مصيبة ما أعظمها وأعظم رزيتها في الإسلام وفي جميع السماوات والأرض. اللهم اجعلني في مقامي هذا ممن تناله منك صلوات ورحمة ومغفرة. اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد، ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إن هذا يوم تبركت به بنو أمية وابن آكلة الأكباد اللعين ابن اللعين على لسانك ولسان نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله في كل موطن وموقف وقف فيه نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم العن أبا سفيان ومعاوية ويزيد بن معاوية عليهم منك اللعنة أبد الآبدين. وهذا يوم فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين. اللهم فضاعف عليهم اللعن منك والعذاب الأليم. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك في هذا اليوم وفي موقفي هذا وأيام حياتي بالبراءة منهم واللعنة عليهم وبالموالاة لنبيك وآل نبيك عليه وعليهم السلام. اللهم العن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم العن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين عليه السلام وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم العنهم جميعا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم خص أنت أول ظالم باللعن مني وابدأ به أولا ثم العن الثانية والثالثة والرابع. اللهم العن يزيد خامسا والعن عبيد الله بن زياد وابن مرجانة وعمر بن سعد وشمران وآل أبي سفيان وآل زياد وآل مروان إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم لك الحمد حمد الشاكرين لك على مصابهم. الحمد لله على عظيم رزيتي. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. وصل يا رب على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة. لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي. واشهد ان الائمه من ولدك كلمه التقوى واعلام الهدى والعروه الوثقى والحجه على اهل الدنيا. واشهد الله وملائكته وانبياءه ورسله اني بكم مؤمن وبإيابكم موقن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله. بأبي أنت وأمي يا أبا عبد الله. بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله. بأبي أنت وأمي يا أبا عبد الله. لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل السماوات والأرض. فلعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتهيأت لقتالك. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، قصدت حرمك وأتيت إلى مشهدك. أسأل الله بالشان الذي لك عنده وبالمحل الذي لك لدي أن يصلي على محمد وآل محمد ويجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة. افلح وصل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلاق الأجمعين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين حبيبنا وحبيب إليه العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى طيبين طاهرين معصومين ولا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولأن داعم على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum to the esteemed brothers and sisters. May inshallah Allah Azza wa Jal, Sayyid al-Shuhada, have accepted your mourning for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. May inshallah these majalis be but a small effect to the coming of the Imam of our time, and inshallah all of us and our children can be the closest to the Imams, closest companions, closest soldiers of the Imam Zaman alayhi salam. Brothers and sisters, we barely have any time left. As you see, just with the blink of an eye, almost six majlises have gone by, and inshallah we can use these gatherings with the name of Sayyid al-Shuhada, with the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to the best of our ability. Tonight being deemed appropriate to be for Hazrat our own and Muhammad, the two sons of Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, it was deemed appropriate to speak about the effects of Ashura and the effects of Karbala. And by effects, we mean this in a very broad sense. We mean this in the sense that the effects it had on the nature in that area, we mean by people that were there, and 1,000 and so years after that, even today. Now Hazrat Zainab alayhi salam, when she was getting married to the son of her uncle, Jafar al-Tayyar, she had a rule instilled, you can always do this when you're getting aqd, there's something that you put in this aqd beforehand. And the thing that she wanted more important than anything else, this was her only condition, the condition that she put down, was that wherever Hussein goes, I go with him. So Abdullah, please, when I'm getting married, I cannot live even a single day without Hussein, without seeing my brother Hussein, not because of he was her brother, but because he was her Imam. I cannot live without Hussein. So of course, in the time where it was to go towards Kufa, Abdullah was not very, in terms of medically available to be able to go to Karbala, to be able to go take this journey towards Kufa. But he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein saying, please accept, I couldn't come on this journey and I was left from this caravan of light. But please accept from me my two sons. This is just the smallest thing that I could do for you, O Hussein. Not only did he have no problem with, of course, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam going, and this letter was given to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein on Ashura, when he didn't want, of course, the sons of Hazrat Zainab alayhi salam to go to war. This letter was given to him. Please accept me as a father. The smallest thing I can do for you, Ya Abu Abdullah, is to give my sons for you. Now, brothers and sisters, the story of Karbala is a story of love. Now today in Jum'ah, we just spoke about this a little bit with the brothers. I thought I would maybe just expand that a little bit more and mention it here today to all of. I thought it so important that all of us can hear this, these important points. It's a story of love. The night before Ashura, what did Imam Hussein alayhi salam do? The night before Ashura, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein took the bay'at away. He said, I don't want you guys to fight. You can go back. Go to your families. Remember, we said the morality of Islam is a morality of duty. So we are supposed to go after our duty. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein took the bay'at. He said, listen, if this bay'at is gone, go do other things. Attend to your families that you guys have left. Do other things. You do not need to stay here. One person, like Qasim, stood up and said, Shahadat with you is sweeter than honey. Each of the people that were there, they gave speeches and spoke. And the expectation was that the Salar of all of them, the leader of all of them, which is Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, the leader of the general of the war, Imam Hussein's right-hand man, to give a long speech, but he only said a few words. I want to mention these to you, brothers and sisters, because it's few words of pure love. What did he say? He said, Oh Hussein, where should we go? If you are here, where should we go? The purity in this, the beauty in this. There was no lectures needed. He was completely dissolved in his Imam. He was dissolved in his Imam. A true story about this, brothers and sisters. There's a book by Ayatollah Sa'd al-Barvary. He's written all the awliya of Allah since the Prophet time, all the way till now. Well, recent days. And in there is a story about a woman, if I'm not mistaken, Rubabe. She was one of the women of the believers. She was awliya of Allah. And there was a conversation between her and 3 other men that were there in this talk. And the question was, when do you know that you are one of the awliya of Allah? Wa alaikum salam. When can we know? So the first person said, you can know when it's sabr wa ta'ah. You have sabr, you have patience in different problems, in difficult times. And now this is important. We mentioned this yesterday. Having patience in difficult times is extremely important. We have to have sabr, we have to wait, we have to analyze, and we have to act according to how Islam has taught us. Very important. However, another man said, that's not true. It's not just having sabr wa ta'ah, but it's being radhi with ta'ah. As in, having this sense, not rida, not the maqam of rida, because that's different. Inshallah, we're going to speak about that, but that's different. But no, radhi in the sense that you accept this. You understand that this problem that has arose in your life is from Allah Azza wa Jal, and you accept it. Not only do you have sabr, you have patience, but you accept it as well. This is a different level in your nafs, in your inner self, than before. The next man, the third one and the final one, said, no. That's not what an awliya. We're talking about awliya of Allah. An awliya of Allah is a person that is happy that when even a musibat, even a problem arises, they are happy because they know this is the instance where I can have patience and I can excel. Now this is even higher. So I'm happy, I know that we have a ravaya as well, brothers and sisters, that the gift to the mu'mineen from Allah Azza wa Jal is problems in their lives. The gift. If Allah loves someone, their gift is problems in their life. Because that is what makes us grow. These pressures, these high pressures is what makes diamonds. So even in our lives, when there's problems, This person, the last, said we should be happy. Now, what we're talking about is high levels here. But the woman that was, she herself, she was one of the awliya of Allah. She said, no, it's not even this. It is when, for you, ta'at, as in problems in your life, miseries, and happiness, and good things that happen to you are all the same. They're the same thing for you. That's when you're awliya of Allah. Is when you don't even recognize these two from apart from each other. This is love. This is what happened in Ashura. What do I mean by this? The example she gave is in Surah Yusuf. When they saw Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, what happened? They were cutting their fingers without realizing that they were cutting their fingers. In that moment, those women, now this is a materialistic example, brothers and sisters, this is a materialistic example, not even a spiritual example. Even in the materialistic world, we have this, where they were cutting their fingers, but they didn't notice because they were looking at Hazrat Yusuf, the beauty. They were dissolved in Hazrat Yusuf. They were immersed in Hazrat Yusuf and his beauty. They did not realize the cutting of their hand. Even if something good happened at that moment in time, whether it was good or whether it was bad, they did not realize. Why? They were immersed in Yusuf, Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. This is what Karbala was. For those pure individuals that were able to, were able to reach that maqam, reach that status, to be able to give their life for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, for them pleasure and pain were all the same. That's why the story of Karbala is a story of love. When Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas stands up and he says, where am I going to go? He cannot fathom to go into another location where there is no Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. He cannot fathom. That's what you call love. That's what you call immersed in love. Now all of those hukm that we discussed with the brothers about if you hit yourself for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, yes, if you truly are immersed in Abu Abdullah al-Hussein in a way that you lose yourself, and 99.9% of us, it doesn't happen like that. But if you are lucky enough that that will happen and you do hurt yourself, no marja will say that it's haram. But there's a condition, if you truly feel like that. A person feels like this, that abides by the do's and don'ts of Allah exactly to the dot. A person can reach this maqam if they're like Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. In the middle of Zuhr of Ashura, they get up for prayer. In the worst time. Middle of battle, it's prayer time, they stand for prayer. No matter what happens, even though Abu Abdullah al-Hussein knows he will be martyred because he's going towards Kufa, but he acts upon his ahd, his oath, the oath that he gave to the people of Kufa. Even though he knows he's going to give his life and his beloved ones' lives because of this oath. Such a person can reach to that point where they can say, I truly love Imam Hussein alayhi salam. A beautiful riwayah from Imam Hassan alayhi salam, where he says, if you truly want to show us, Ahlul Bayt, that you love us, act upon what we have said. Let's go through what the Ahlul Bayt, have they said anything but acting upon the do's and don'ts of Allah? What more important than this? And we gave the analogy of the bowl last night. If you sin and your bowl becomes impure, what's the point of keep pouring milk into this bowl? It's najis, it's impure. Purify it. Keep it clean. With sinning, the intensity of your existence cannot go to that point where you can truly be immersed with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. That's why we said some of those people that understand this, for them, Jannat, heaven,
is only being around Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, and they do not even think about anything other than Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. They're just sitting next to Abu Abdullah, and Abu Abdullah speaking to them because they are in love, they are immersed. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is the best representation, the fullest representation of sacrifice for Allah Azza wa Jal. The love of Allah is shown through Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. He's the mahdar, he's the mirror of this on earth. That's why when they say, if you want spiritual gains, go to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Spiritual gains, read Ziyarat Ashura. Anything spiritual is tied and woven with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Why? Because Abu Abdullah al-Hussein showed this in its entirety. Now all of the Ahlul Bayt, brothers and sisters, are kulluhum nura wahid. They're one light. But each of them, through their lives, they showed in their lives one particular thing more than another. Now if you would have switched the positions, put Imam Hassan alayhi salam in Imam Hussein's shoes, the same thing would have happened. They're kulluhum nura wahid. They're one light. There's no difference between them. However, the circumstance for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein was so that it was not so for any other human being, any other ma'soom. The sacrifice that he had to go through, the endurance, the patience. Even companions like Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, truly, that gave their lives in this way, in such a way. One of the effects of Ashura, one of the effects of Karbala is that it took away pain from the believers. And we want to start the first effect just exactly from here. Many of the awliya, many of the ulama have said when it is difficult, when life is difficult for you, remember the pain of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, remember the pain of Ashura, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, and you will realize how small your pain is. What you're enduring is very small. And please do not say that was Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, this is me. We can reach those maqam. We just have to try. Maybe not exactly that, but if it was not doable, then Imam Sadiq alayhi salam in Ziyarat Ashura wouldn't say pray for it. Pray for something that cannot be done. Maqama mahmuda lakum indallah. So reaching it is possible. However, will we go through this procedure? Can we endure this amount of pain and still continue? Or with the smallest thing in our lives, whether it be economical issues, whether it be family issues, my wife says this to me, my husband says that to me, my wife's parents have said that to me, my husband's parents have said that to me, and I completely lose myself quickly, just by a few words. Remember the words that they were saying to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein and the family of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein after Ashura. When they were trying to give food to the caravan, to Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. And over there, they said, Sadaqah is haram to us. Do you not know who we are? Because people did not know who they were. People did not know, and they didn't want them to know who they were. The household of the prophethood, these are Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet. It's, brothers and sisters, I know this is very difficult it's even difficult for me to understand. It's very difficult for me to understand. Those people that were attacking Abu Abdullah al-Hussein were saying the zikr of Allahu Akbar when they were doing it. The first zikr that Shimr alayhi al-la'nam al-adhab, the first zikr that he said when cutting the beloved head of Abu Abdullah was Allahu Akbar. Can you see how astray we can go? If you leave the Ahlul Bayt, what can happen to you? That you can cut the head of the beloved Hussein, the beloved Hussein of Rasulullah, and in the same time say the zikr of Allahu Akbar. How corrupt is this mind? The same Shim that went 9 times to Hajj. Remember? The same Hisham, that is narrated that he had memorized the Quran. These things don't save you. Even if we go 100 times to Hajj, even to Karbala, I personally know some people that have gone to Hajj, they've come back and they've gone away from Islam. This is not what saves you. You're constant begging to Allah Azza wa Jal to not even for a second to take your hands away from the hands of the Ahlul Bayt is what saves you. For even a second. The story of Karbala is a story of love, brothers and sisters. This is the effect that it has on us. It makes pain go away because love makes pain go away. When you're immersed in it, you forget pain. You don't remember pain. You forget the problems in your life. If this world was so good, if this dunya, this materialistic was so good, it would have been good to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the Imam of this world. If it was good, it would have been good to Imam Ali alayhi salam. If it was good, it would have been good to Hazrat al-Zahra alayhi salam. Not to one of the Ma'sumin was this world good. That's why it's so important to use it for your hereafter. Now we don't say, I'm not trying to say, live in a cave somewhere away and don't think about the dunya. No, of course not. However, your goal should not be this world. Your goal, the thing you're constantly thinking about, should not be this dunya. Yes, I work hard, I gain money and all these wealth, but I'm not immersed in it. That's the point. That's the important point. I'm not immersed in it. For me, it's all the same. Exactly how we said, pain and pleasure being all the same. I'm not immersed in it. That's the important thing. Now, one of the effects was that Karbala makes you forget, or at least in the lower sense, if we talk about, it makes you endure pain. When you think about Karbala and you think about what happened. Now, in brackets, an effect that it had at that time in Karbala itself. When Shimr, alayhi al-la'na wa adab, when he cut the beloved head of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, it is narrated that all the sky turned dark. In some of the hadith, it said that there was an eclipse, a solar eclipse, or if I'm not mistaken, a solar eclipse, in a way where the entire sky was dark. And the earth started to shake. And fresh blood was coming from the sky. It was in a way where all the ashab were frightened, the ashab of Shimr and Yazid. They were frightened. They knew that something bad was going to happen to them. They were doomed from this moment onwards. They were doomed for doing this to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. They could feel it. They could feel it in the air that they were doomed from now on. But still, being the most evil of evil, they came to Abu Abdullah to take but the few treasures that he had, whether it be his ring, his clothes. Unfortunately, while saying the zikr of Allahu Akbar. This is how deluded they were. And when Bibi Zainab alayhi salam came to see her brother looking down, saying, is this the beloved son of Rasulullah? Is this the beloved of Hazrat al-Zahra alayhi salam? That his limbs are apart from each other. She spoke in a way, brothers and sisters, that friend and foe were crying. In that moment, the way she spoke, even those hearts of stone started to weep. Even those hearts of stone. This is what Karbala is. Did they come away? No. They didn't come away. But still they wept. The story of Karbala, brothers and sisters, the effect, it is mercy. We saw this in Hur. It is a story of mercy of Allah. A person that can cut the water to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein can also become the person that dies and becomes a martyr for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. This is what Karbala does. How it changes a person's heart. Now there's a true story in the time of Ma'mun, La'natullah alayh, that in that time, one of the Abbasi caliphs, whichever one they were, I think it was Ma'mun, maybe it was another person, calling one of his disciples and to come to him. He said, "How much do I mean to you?" And this soldier said, "You mean to me as much as my life." He said, "Okay, go." As he left, he called him again. "Come back." He came back to him again and said, "How much do I mean to you?" He said, "You mean to me as, you're more important to me than the life of my wife and children." He said, "Okay, go." And the third time he asked again, calling him back, "How much do I mean to you?" He said, "You mean to me more than my religion, more than my deen." See how much corrupt these people were. He said, "Okay, that's the answer that I was looking for. Go to this address." He took another soldier, he said, "Take him to that address with this knife and listen to this soldier. He will tell you something to do for me. I want to be done, and come back." And he said, "Okay." So they went. They went to a house, an olden house. These olden houses, they had, for example, a courtyard in the middle, and there was small little rooms all around. Maybe if you've gone to some of these olden houses in Iraq or Iran, so there was rooms, small rooms all around. The soldier gave him the knife, opened the first door of this room, and he saw there was 20 to 30 Sayyids, Sayyida Fatimi, Sayyids from the Nasl Bibi Zahra alayhi salam and Amir al-Mu'mineen. He said, you have to, and there was a well in the middle of the courtyard. He said, you have to cut all of their heads and throw the heads in the well. And he quickly did so. As he was finished, they went to the next door, and he opened it up again. He said, there was another 20 to 30 Sayyids in there. And again, next room and next room. The last room, there was an old Sayyid. And as he came towards him to also martyr him as well, the old Sayyid said, when you go to the other world, to the other life, how will you answer to my mother, Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam? And it is narrated that for a second in his heart, he had a little tremble. And in that second, he said to himself, I have done so much already. I have killed these many Sayyids. What's one more? And he cut his head as well and threw it in the well. Now later on when this was, and what he said is that Allah will not forgive me anymore because of what I've done. In that moment that he was going to kill the last person, that old man. Later on when this story was revealed to, if I'm not mistaken, it was Imam Rida alayhi salam or Imam Jawad alayhi salam, the Imam replied, the shak, the doubt he had in Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive his sins is worse than killing all those people. This is the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. Having doubt. Now when someone does a deed like that, brothers and sisters, of course there's no coming back. Not that Allah will not forgive him, because there is no coming back from such darkness. That's immense. None of us are in that state. But having this doubt in us that I am so far gone that Allah will not forgive me, this is shirk, brothers and sisters. This is shirk. Allah will forgive anything. To the last moment, if you give even some of the sins when you die, Allah will forgive apart from shirk. Shirk is the only one that He will not forgive. There's an ayah of the Quran for this. Anything apart, He can still forgive. There is still a chance for Allah to forgive you. This is the khawf and raja. In the same time, you shouldn't get too comfortable so that you make other sins. Because it can be that point of no return. Not that for Allah there's no return, but for you there is no return. You do not come back from this. You are so immersed in this sin that you cannot come back from it anymore. The story of Karbala is that someone that can cut the water to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein can become a martyr for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. If any of them would have come back in that moment, the Abu Abdullah al-Hussein himself said, he called out towards them. If any of them would have come towards Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, they would have been one of the stars that are shining in Karbala today. One of these 72 stars that shine in the story of Karbala. It's a matter of wanting. You have to want it. You have to want it from the bottom of your heart. Wanting it doesn't mean just sitting in your room and thinking about it. It's actually doing it. It's actually going towards it. It's wanting it. Changing your life truly, making a plan, thinking about it, asking for advice, wanting to better yourself every day. Remember the riwayat we mentioned from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, if you are not improving, you're increasing your deen every day, you're decreasing. You're going back. Nothing is stationary. Every day, we have to want this, truly want it from Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. One way of showing that you want something is acting upon it. But acting upon this is one thing, but knowing truly within you that, yes, I act upon it, but it's not me doing this. Even this is a lutf and it's mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. And knowing that if Ahlul Bayt for a second, they take their eyes, their sight away from us, we will definitely be gone astray. No matter who we are. The greatest of the alims, the greatest of the marajih, or other people. No matter what status you're in, if the Ahlul Bayt take their inayah away from us, we're done, we're finished. There's nothing. And these times, these majalis, brothers and sisters, are the time to renew these contracts with the Ahlul Bayt. Is to renew these bay'at that we have with Ahlul Bayt. To renew it. That's why it's so important to come to these majalis. Whether it be Muharram, whether it be the Eid of Qadir, whether it be all these Eids. Let's not take one more important than the other. Each one of them are important in its own way. Coming together as a remembrance of the Ahlul Bayt. Remembering, doing a bay'at. Of course, in these places, it's very lonely. In these locations, brothers and sisters, very lonely. How much can we actually go to the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? How often can we go to the ziyarat of Imam Rida alayhi salam? What do we have apart from these majalis? These are the reminders of the Ahlul Bayt. For our sons, for our daughters. It's like bringing back Ashura every year. That's why it's important. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, the next effect, which is exactly linked to this one, is that it brought back Islam from a place that it was going towards darkness. It was going to the point where you could not recognize Islam anymore. This was not the Islam of Rasulullah. Salawat. It was going to the point where you could not recognize Islam anymore. the so-called Khalifa of the Ummah of Islam was a person that was drinking alcohol, was doing so and so. It's even disgraceful to mention the things that he was doing on the minbar of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The things that he was doing, the things that were being done in his domain with the name of Islam, that 70 years on the minbar they were doing la'n of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The nafs of the Rasulullah. The nafs of Rasulullah. This was the state of Islam at that point. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, this effect of Ashura was to bring it back from this worst state that Islam was going towards. You could say that was the lowest point. And Abu Abdullah al-Hussein brought it back. To remember what Islam was. This is Islam. And he had to give his life for it. And his beloved ones. If you pay attention to what the Ahlul Bayt did after Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, every single one of them was a message of Ashura. Every single, whether it be Imam Sajjad alayhi salam through Sayfi Sajjadiyya and the du'as that he did, whether it be Imam Baqir alayhi salam in Hajj, every single year going to Hajj would say the story of Karbala. He was trying to get the story of Karbala to every corner of the Islamic world. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, same. Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam, the same. Even until the coming of the Imam Zaman alayhi salam. Allah. It is narrated that when inshaAllah we're all there, that he will come and he will place his back on the wall of Kaaba, saying, Ala ya ahl al-alam, inni jaddi Hussein qataluhu atshana. He says to the whole world, I am your Imam. I am the person that his father is Hussein, that was killed while being thirsty. Qataluhu uryana. Inni jaddi Hussein qataluhu uryana. I am the person that their Jad, their father is Hussein, who was killed without clothes. The clothes were torn from his body. Even Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, after all these years, brothers and sisters, after all these years, is still saying the story of Karbala, still saying the story of Ashura. That's what fixes the hearts. In that day where most of the people, a lot of the people will have gone astray, and many people will stand even against Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. Inshallah we are not one of them. Still he says Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. He says 5 nida, each of the nida, Ala ya ahl al-alam. In these 5 nida, 3 of them are about Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Can you imagine this? 1,400 years we've been waiting, even more, because the other prophets have also said that Imam Mahdi alayhi salam will come, the Messiah will come. All these years mankind has waited for Imam Zaman alayhi salam. When he comes, the first 3 things, out of the 5 things, the 3 things that he mentioned is Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Who is this Hussein? What is this Ashura? What is this Karbala? What all of humanity have been waiting for, he mentions Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. To remember, this is what you did to my father Hussein. This is what you did to my father Hussein. And honestly, brothers and sisters, from then onwards, please have a quick read in history. See each of these despicable people, what happened to them. What happened to Shamr afterwards? What happened to Yazid? What happened to Harmaleh? What happened to each of them? They were doomed from that day onwards. From Ashura, another effect of Ashura, the enemies of Islam had a stamp on their foreheads. They were obvious. A lot of the people in that time the propaganda was taken away and they could recognize haqq from batil. With Ashura and with the taking of the family of Rasulullah, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, as captives, they realized, what have we done? What have we stayed silent to? Even their silence was a sin. Their silence. And again, this is in no way to, I don't want to give this as an example, it's not a direct example, but just a small sign of this we can see today. In today, what happened with Gaza was a reminder for people to see justice from injustice. Even with all the propaganda that the other side tries to give justification for the killing of innocents. People are not ignorant. People can see what is in front of their eyes. No matter how you want to twist it, and unfortunately I don't know why they want to pretend as if October 7th was the first time that this started. This war was nothing. On October 7th it started. This whole thing started from this one date. It did not. It did not happen. It did not start from this date. Whether the retaliation was justified, not justified, we don't want to get into the details. Whatever it is, this genocide has been going on for long before October 7th, and it is going on long after. We're almost a year now. This October, it's going to be 1 year. Many people that were favored even by the Shia community, maybe they weren't Muslim themselves, but they were as academics in the social medias, in the different platforms, and they were very respected. They showed their true colors in this conflict, in this genocide, I should say. Many people that even myself, I thought that this person's ideologies are they're very good. They're very according to Islam. But it was all a front. It was all fake. They showed their true colors in this event. Now in Karbala, many people, because of the war of Siffin and the other wars, like the war of Jamal, with the sulh that Imam Hassan alayhi salam did with Muawiyah, the line between haqq and batil, between justice and injustice, was murky. It wasn't white and black anymore. It was gray, and the gray was a lot. They thought to themselves, why did Imam Hassan alayhi salam do sulh? As we answered in, I can't remember if it was the first night, the second night. Why is it that Imam Ali alayhi salam fought against the wife of Rasulullah in the war of Jamal? Or the war of Siffin, which the most amount of Muslims died in that war. Some were on this way, some were on the other side. Yet still, many people were taken away. Many people were on this side or another. And this war of Siffin, brothers and sisters, there is a point that I want to mention in brackets about religious experiences. Just quickly in brackets. There was a person in the war of Siffin that Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib saw doing wudu. And Amir al-Mu'minin said to him, do your taharat properly. He was doing his wudu wrong. And the man said to Amir al-Mu'minin, are you speaking to me about taharat when you've killed so many people in Siffin? And Amir al-Mu'mineen smiles at him and says, why did you not fight against me in the war of Siffin? He said, I actually wanted to fight against you. I wanted to go in the army of Muawiyah and fight against you. However, I heard a nida, I heard a voice from the skies saying the qatil and the maqtul, as in the person that kills and the person that is killed, will be ahl al-nar, will be from hellfire. Pay attention to the point. Whoever is killed and is killed, kills or is killed, will be of hellfire. Now here, Amir al-Mu'mineen does not say this was wrong. He says, what you saw, what you heard was correct. Wasn't wrong, was correct. And he says that was your brother Iblis, Shaitan. And he didn't even lie to you, he said the truth. However, he left a small little point out. What was the point? Qatil and Maqtul from the army of Muawiyah will be from hellfire. He just left that army of Muawiyah, he left it out. This is how Shaitan takes people astray. Again, few points. Number one, the religious experience, if you can call it that, the experience that this person had was correct, so it wasn't an imagination. Even the thing that was told to him was correct, just a part was taken out. However, the deciphering of it was wrong. And this is why for our religion, religious experiences and experiences are not the tools to decipher right from wrong. Logic is, aql is, not these experiences. You can see that this person, he said, this was your brother Iblis, the killer and the person that is killed from the sepah. So that means in the war, in the army of Muawiyah, whether you kill or whether you are killed, you will be of hellfire. However, if you're in the army of Amir al-Mu'mineen, if you get killed or you are killed, you are from heaven. In both cases, you are from heaven if you're with Amir al-Mu'mineen. This is the point that we need to be very careful about. You can see many religious experiences, brothers and sisters. You can see for example, one person sees Hazrat Maryam, one person sees Hazrat Isa, one person sees, they might even see some of the khulafa and they say, oh, you're with truth and so on and so forth. There's many, you can even see Buddha. Now some of them, of course, are your imagination. You've imagined it. Just not all dreams are good, correct dreams, for example. If all of our dreams were correct, we would be one of the Anbiya, we would be one of the prophets. Now that doesn't mean none of our dreams are correct again. But dreams and these experiences on all of these things are not the tools to decipher the correct from the wrong in your religion. Aql is, logic is. And after your usul of your deen, the pillars of your religion, which is Tawheed, Idalat, Ma'ad, Imamat, Nubuwwat, these 5 are proven with logic. Afterwards, in the jurisdiction and the other things, it is with riwayat. It's with the Ma'sumin alayhi salam. Because there is an extent where logic can go to. There's no point of asking ahkam, getting from your ahkam with logic. Now there is a logic behind it, which is the fiqhi logic that the maraji and the ulama, of course, have. It is not the same. It is, so these religious experiences are not the source of understanding what is right and what is wrong according to your religion, to your deen. And this is a difference in our faith and the other faiths. Brothers and sisters, the thing that differentiates us as Shi'as, as Shia Athna Ashari, the 12 Imam Shi'as, what differentiates us is this logic, is this aql. That's why we have so great theologians and philosophers and so on and so forth. What differentiates us is this. We are not like other religions saying, just believe in it, have blind faith and jump in. We don't believe in that. It's with logic. Now when you reach logic, and when you pass this logic, and you've attained it, and you've gone inside, and now you're in this beautiful religion, you've acted upon it, your lifestyle has completely changed in a way where you've adopted this program in a sense that it's immersed in your life, and you're acting exactly how Allah wants you to act, you reach a different state. And if you do it in the best of your ability, you can reach the state of love, the true Tawheed. And this is with the lifestyle of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. This is with the lifestyle of Ashura. It's Buka'ul Hussein, crying for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. It tenders the heart. It warms the heart. It makes you alive. Usually when you cry for your problems or there's difficulties in your life, when you cry, afterwards you do not feel that good. But experience this. When you cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, afterwards you always feel this relief. You feel this lightness about you. You feel light. And by light I mean opposite to heavy. You feel this in your life. Why? Because the crying for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is like no other thing. These tears that come down, it purifies your soul. It takes away the sins. Inshallah, just like the companions of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, like the young Own and Muhammad, we can also give our lives for our Imam. We can also purify ourselves with the name of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifnak عليك مني جميع السلام الله أبدا فما بغيت وبغي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله الآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Altogether, السلام على الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين in the sons of Karbala. Stained with crimson red. One of the reasons, brothers and sisters, why we take our shoes out of our feet between Bain al-Haramain is that each part of this Bain al-Haramain, there's a drop of blood that has been spilled. With the hurmat, with the beauty of that blood that has been shed in the sands of Karbala, they take their shoes off. Here in Karbala, where Hussein fell from his horse, his noble heart bled with grief for the two sons of Zainab. But a grief remembers the heart of Bibi Zainab, who witnessed Karbala. In Karbala, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam gives the letter to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. From Abdullah saying, O Abu Abdullah, please accept these two gifts from me. Her brother Imam, a beacon in the dust of Karbala. In Allah, His trust, yet prisoned with arrows pierced from the desert's air. And Zainab watched as Abu Abdullah was alone. The two sons of Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, when they went towards the battlefield, brothers and sisters, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam did not come out the tent. She did not want to look at Abu Abdullah al-Hussein after the death of her two sons, so that she cannot for 1 second see a little bit of shame in the face of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Young owned her son, a boy of tender years, begged for the chance to be a soldier of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. His mother's heart, fragile, could barely bear the sacrifice. Let me go, oh mother, pleaded Bibi Zainab, not for a second thought of go. My sons, go for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Even if I had 1,000 sons, I would give it for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. For Hussein is thirsty and alone. He charged the battlefield like a lion cub, so brave and small against an army of men, destined to fall. Struck down, his blood mingled between the sons of Karbala. A shaheed of Karbala, such a young age. And then came Muhammad, frail, his body weak, yet his eyes of faith profound did speak. He stood by Hussein, a shield against the tide, and fell defending him side by side. O Zainab's heart, only the thought of Hussein, but two small little gifts for Hussein is nothing. Hussein, 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 no death is like yours, O Hussein. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون باسمك العظيم الأعظم أجل الأكرم بك يا الله يا الله. صلوات محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى صلوات على محمد. शब्बीर गरीब दी लाश शब्बीर गरीब दी लाश जा भेड़ उजड़ी नहीं आई बेगैरत शाम दे वसदिया ने चलाश ते लोटी पाई काए मुदरी वो काए अमामा पोशाक लाई वो डिठी लाश लुटी दी इंज वीरन दी गाश कर गई ज़ारा ज़ैनब बिनते अली दा दीन इस्लाम ते बहुए साने चाहे चादर दिती इस्लाम दी खातर किती नसाल अपनी कुर्बान या हुसैन 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 बोले सभी वो सभी बोले या हुसैन 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 करबल चुप या लिखदा हुण वक्त रहा कोई नहीं बेया क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा हुण वक्त रहा कोई नहीं बेया क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा तेंडी फुफिया ते भैणा दा सजाद सिवा कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा कहीं में सभी मैं जवान मरा बैठा तनदान कुहा बैठा हबीब तक सर जे मेहमान मरा बैठा इंज खून दे विच तारिया सजदे दी भी जा कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा बे क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा हुण वक्त रहा कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा हाय लग नजर गई उजड़ी तंडे यूसुफ सानी को उम्मत ने रज लुटिया अकबर दी जमाने को कोई रस्में है कोई रस्में शादी मैं की अदा कोई नहीं भैया क्या मैं लिखा घर बल है कासम दा जो नहीं लिखिया उकू बंदरा बना बैठा उदा सगन सजा बैठा उकू शेर पवा बैठा तेरी भैन दे हथा ते हुण रंगे ना कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा बे क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा हुण वक्त रहा कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा करबल चुप या लिखदा हुण वक्त रहा कोई नहीं बे क्या मैं लिखा
از غربتت برادر
از غربتت برادر زینب شده پریشان، رو کردم به سویت با دیدگان گریان، با دیدگان گریان. وا غربتا حسینا، وا غربتا حسینا، وا غربتا حسینا، وا غربتا حسینا، وا غربتا، وا غربتا، وا غربتا حسینا. من این دو دست گل را، من این دو دست گل را نظر ره تو کردم. المصائبم من آینه دار دردم. با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا حسین. گرد خورد سال هستن، گرد خورد سال هستن، دو نازنین خواهر آماده نبردن، دو شیر مرد جعفر. با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا حسینا. ای کاش من نباشم، ای کاش من نباشم روز جدایی تو آماده نبردن، دو جان فدایی تو آماده نبردن، دو جان فدایی تو. با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا. در گلشن صبوری، در گلشن صبوری من رو سفید هستم، من رو سفید هستم. بگذار تا ببینن الشهید هستم، بگذار تا ببینن الشهید هستم. با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا حسینا، با غربتا، با غربتا، با غربتا حسینا. وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا. شهید القمه، وا ویلا، شهید القمه، وا ویلا. عزیز فاطمه، وا ویلا، وا ویلا. عزیز فاطمه، وا ویلا. ابو فاضل مدد، وا ویلا. گل البنین، وا ویلا. شده قطع الیمین، وا ویلا. فتاده بر زمین، وای عمود آهنین، وا ویلا، وا ویلا. وای علمدار حسین، وای علمدار حسین. وای سپهدار حسین. آخ امیر نشأتین، وا ویلا. وای عزیز یار حسین، وا ویلا. آخ امید زینبین، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا، وا ویلا.
حق لي أبكي دما عوض الدمع الهتوني، لغريب نازح الدار خلي من معيني، لتريب الخد دام النحر مردود الجبين، لحبيب أسلم القلب إلى داء دفيني، لست أنساه بأرض الطف إذ قال أخبروني ما اسم هذه الأرض، قالوا كربلاء يا ابن الأمين. خادم على بابك خليني، خدمتك شفاعة نجيني، خادم على بابك خليني، خدمتك شفاعة نجيني، نجيني حسين 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 يا سيدي من مولدي اليوم المنية، خادم إلك واتوسلك يا ابن الزكية، وبدنيتي كل غايتي تنظر إلي، وانت السخي جيت انتخي خاطر رقية، خادم ويا ريتك تحسبني ومن نسل عبيدك تنسبني، خادم ويا ريتك تحسبني ومن نسل عبيدك تنسبني. حسين 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 يا من نجا بي التجا صار بجواره، قبرك سما واهل السما تحف المناره، كل من قصد لي وفد طاف بمزاره، يصبح ثمن أجرى كمن عرش الله زاره، نزلت الملايك عناية حتى تمشي ويا المشاية، نزلت الملايك عناية حتى تمشي ويا المشاية. حسين 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 باقي على نهج العلا، اش ما تمضي السنين وش ما يمر بينا العمر عالخدمة باقين، بعض البشر عدا الفخر تاج السلاطين، تاج المحب من ينحسب خادم للحسين، الله كل شي خضع لجدامك لجلك الله شرف خدامك، الله كل شي خضع لجدامك لجلك الله شرف خدامك. حسين 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 هاك استمع من يرتفع صوت الضماير، هذا الصدى طول المدى يهز المشاعر، وعلى الوعد نكتب عهد دمع النواظر، لحد الأجل نفنى ويظل خط الشعائر، شحد من علينا يتجسر عدنا هالشعائر، خط أحمر شحد من علينا يتجسر عدنا هالشعائر، خط أحمر. حسين 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 حسين
بر خاتم انبیا محمد صلوات. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Tonight is devoted to Muhammad and own sons of Zainab alayhi salam. And tonight, Zainab alayhi salam asking his brother to accept his son to the battleground, mentioning that since land of Kaaba had some lady like Hajar, this land of Karbala needs a lady like Zainab. So please accept my wishes to be Shaheed, like Najma and Layla, and my sons are the same as your sons Ali Akbar and Ali Asghar. Let them to be sacrificed in land of Karbala. So asking my brother Hussein, Ya Akha Aga 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 Hussein, Ya Aga Hussein. Hajar Karb o balayam ya Hussein, Hajar Karb o balayam ya Hussein, in do nazriye manayam ya Hussein, in do nazriye manayam ya Hussein, in do Ismail man qurbaniyat, in do Ismail man qurbaniyat, تو مکن محروم از مهمانیت، تو مکن محروم از مهمانیت. یا اخا آقا حسین، حسین، یا اخا آقا، یا اخا آقا حسین. اینقدر بازی نکن با جان من، اینقدر بازی نکن با جان من، نظر خون اکبرت طفلان من، نزد خون اکبرت طفلان من. هدیه آوردم برایت یا حسین، هدیه آوردم برایت ها حسین. هستی زینب فدایت یا حسین، هستی زینب فدایت یا حسین. یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا، یا اخا حسین، یا اخا آقا. دو علم دار دلیر آورده ام، دو علم دار دلیر آورده ام. یا اخا تو بچه شیر آورده ام، یا اخا دو بچه شیر آورده ام. بالهای جعفر آوردم حسین، بالهای جعفر آوردم حسین. بازوان حیدر آوردم حسین، بازوان حیدر آوردم حسین. یا اخا آقا، یا اخا، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین. تا شوم در نزد زهرا رو سفید، تا شوم در نزد مادر رو سفید. رخصتی ده تا شوم الشهید، رخصتی ده تا شوم الشهید. غم مخور گریان این گلها شوم، غم مخور گریان این گلها شوم. تازه مثل نجمه و لیلا شوم، تازه مثل نجمه و لیلا شوم. ای اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، آقا حسین. غم ندارم این دو گل پرپر شوند، غم ندارم این دو گل پرپر شوند، پیشمرگان علی اصغر شوند، پیشمرگان علی اصغر شوند. دوست دارم یا اخا این بچه ها، دوست دارم یا اخا این بچه ها، در پیت باشند روی نیزه ها، در پیت باشند روی نیزه ها. یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین. هاجر کرب و بلایم یا حسین، این دو نظریه من آیم یا حسین، این دو اسماعیل من قربانیت، تو مکن محروم از مهمانیت. یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین، یا اخا آقا حسین. صلوات صل علی محمد و آل محمد. Brothers and sisters, toward Qibla. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم نسألك وندعوك باسمك العظيم الأعظم الأعز الأجل الأكرم بدماء شهدائنا وبحق إمام زماننا. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. إلهي يا حميد بحق محمد، إلهي يا عالي بحق علي، إلهي يا فاطر بحق فاطمة، إلهي يا محسن بحق الحسن، إلهي يا قديم الإحسان بحق الحسين. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات، إنك غازي الحاجات، إنك مجيب الدعوات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. For the peace of soul of all our beloved ones, parents and relatives of all attendees tonight, particularly for parents and relatives of and all passed away of the brothers and sisters who provided food and also recitation and reception. For the peace of soul of all our dear beloved ones, and also for the health and comfort, for the peace of soul of our beloved one from Sheikh who passed away, for the peace of soul of all of them, please recite Fatiha ma'al ikhlas wa salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. صلوات.